Welcome to One Chapter, One Thought. I'm Pastor Chris from Lincroft Bible Church in New Jersey, and every weekday I read one chapter of the Bible and offer one brief devotional thought. Today's reading is from the book of Genesis, chapter 46. Jacob set out for Egypt with all his possessions. When he came to Beersheba, he offered sacrifices to the God of his father Isaac. During the night, God spoke to him in a vision. "Jacob, Jacob," he called. "Here I am," Jacob replied. "I am God, the God of your father," the voice said. "Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for there I will make your family into a great nation. I will go with you down to Egypt, and I will bring you back again. You will die in Egypt, but Joseph will be with you to close your eyes." So Jacob left Beersheba and took his sons with him to Egypt. They carried him and their little ones and their wives in the wagons Pharaoh had provided for them. They also took all their livestock and all their personal belongings that they had acquired in the land of Canaan. So Jacob and his entire family went to Egypt, sons and grandsons, daughters and granddaughters, all his descendants. These are the names of the descendants of Israel, the sons of Jacob, who went to Egypt. Reuben was Jacob's oldest son. The sons of Reuben were Hanoch, Pelu, Hezron, and Carmi. The sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul. Shaul's mother was a Canaanite woman. The sons of Levi were Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. The sons of Judah were Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah, though and Onan had died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Issachar were Tola, Pua, Jashub, and Shimron. The sons of Zebulun were Sered, Elon, and Jalil. These were the sons of Leah and Jacob, who were born in Paddan Aram, in addition to their daughter Dinah. The number of Jacob's descendants, male and female, through Leah, were 33. The sons of Gad were Zephon, Haggai, Shuni, Esbon, Eri, Aridodi, Ereli. The sons of Asher were Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Beriah. Their sister was Sarah. Beriah's sons were Heber and Malchiel. These were the sons of Zilpah, the servant given to Leah by her father Laban. The number of Jacob's descendants through Zilpah was 16. The sons of Jacob's wife, Rachel, were Joseph and Benjamin. Joseph's son, born in the land of Egypt, were Manasseh and Ephraim. Their mother was Asenath, daughter of Potiphera, the priest of On. Benjamin's sons were Bela, Becher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ehi, Rosh, Mupin, Hupin, and Ard. These were the sons of Rachel and Jacob. The number of Jacob's descendants through Rachel was 14. The son of Dan was Hushim. The sons of Naphtali were Jaziel, Guni, Jezer, and Shillem. These were the sons of Bilhah, the servant given to Rachel by her father Laban. The number of Jacob's descendants through Bilhah was 7. The total number of Jacob's direct descendants who went with him to Egypt, not counting his sons' wives, was 66. In addition, Joseph had 2 sons who were born in Egypt, so altogether there were 70 members of Jacob's family in the land of Egypt. As they neared their destination, Jacob sent Judah ahead to meet Joseph and get directions to the region of Goshen. When they finally arrived there, Joseph prepared his chariot and traveled to Goshen to meet his father Jacob. When Joseph arrived, he embraced his father and wept, holding him for a long time. Finally, Jacob said to Joseph, "Now I am ready to die, since I have seen your face again and know that you are still alive." Joseph said to his brothers and to his entire family, "I will go to Pharaoh and tell him, 'My brothers and my father's entire family have come to me from the land of Canaan. These men are shepherds, and they raise livestock. They have brought with them their flocks and herds and everything they own.'" Then he said, "When Pharaoh calls for you and asks about your occupation, you must tell him, 'We, your servants, have raised livestock all of our lives, as our ancestors have always done.' When you tell him this, he will let you live in the region of Goshen, for the Egyptians despise shepherds." One thought. Overcome with emotion, Joseph reveals his identity to his brothers. The brothers are stunned, but Joseph reassures them that he is not angry with them because he knows God was in charge of his story. Hearing the good news that Joseph's brothers are alive, Pharaoh invites Jacob down to Egypt to live and prosper. Jacob is delighted to find out that Joseph is alive and prepares for the journey to Egypt. Now, once again, in the book of Genesis, a genealogy plays a crucial role in the narrative. Genesis 46 recounts the descendants of Israel, the sons of Jacob, who went to Egypt in verses 8 through 27. Most clearly, the genealogy is foreshadowing the events of the rest of the Pentateuch. The Pentateuch is the name for the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The Jews call it the Torah, the first 5 books. But now, after Genesis, Israel, the sons of Israel, will take center stage in Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It's going to be all about them getting out of Egypt, traveling to the Promised Land, setting up the sacrificial system, and attempting to live according to God's law. So genealogies serve as a hinge in Genesis, summarizing the previous chapters and then preparing for the chapters ahead. So the story of Jacob is coming to a close as he makes his way to Egypt and will eventually die there. But it also lays out the foundation for the nation of Israel's story as the nation is formed out of this family of 12 brothers. The genealogy is also a testimony to God's faithfulness. It is a very direct fulfillment of God's promise to Abraham all the way back in Genesis 12. You will become a great nation. And that's exactly what God tells Jacob in this chapter as well. You'll become a great nation. Now here are the list of names of that great nation. What was just a family of 2, Abraham and Sarah, eventually became a family of 3 with the birth of Isaac. After the birth of Isaac, the family has now grown to 70, as mentioned in verse 27. Whenever you might be tempted to doubt God's promise, you can read these lists of names and know that God is always faithful. He always makes good on his word.